It is 5 minutes to 10 on Thursday, the 12th of December, polling day across the United Kingdom. And welcome to the BBC Election Centre at New Broadcasting House in London. A very good evening. For the fourth time in the space of 5 years, the future of the United Kingdom is uncertain. And this time, with politics in deadlock and Brexit unresolved, the stakes are higher than ever. Now, in a few moments, polling stations across the United Kingdom will close, the voting will be over, and we'll be able to reveal the result of our exit poll. That's our first hint of the possible result. Will Boris Johnson be back in number 10? Will Jeremy Corbyn beat him to it? Or will the outcome be less than clear when it comes to Jeremy Vine's winning line?
Well, here we are again. 2 years ago in our virtual Downing Street, I showed you the Conservatives falling short and Labour improving, but not by nearly enough. And the result was 2 years of chaos in Parliament. The question tonight is whether any party can get 326 seats or more and send their leader through that door with a majority.
The party leaders voted earlier today, wrapped up against the elements in the first December election since 1923, less than a fortnight before Christmas. They know that these ballot boxes hold the key to their futures, and my colleague Naga Munchetty is watching the hard-fought race to declare the night's first result.
Well, all eyes are on the northeast today to see who will declare first. Last time it was Newcastle, but we have found out that their neighbours in Blythe Valley have been practising in secret. Are you ready? Yeah! They think they can get the counting done in under 44 minutes. We'll see if they pull it off.
High above the newsroom, our specialist team will be gathering the results as they come in, and our election supremo, Professor Sir John Curtice, ready to analyse those results and to update the early predictions. There are 650 MPs to be elected, every one of those outcomes vital to the final result. And my colleague Rita Chakrabarti is at the big screen with more details.
This has been such a hard election to predict, with the shadow of Brexit hovering over the usual tribal loyalties. Well, we're about to find out what the real numbers are, and I'm here at the giant touch screen, which has been loaded with data from thousands of people as they leave polling stations across the country. In a few moments' time, I should be able to predict which seats are changing hands.
And just outside the studio in the cold night air, my colleague Sophie Rayworth with a vast map of the United Kingdom and the changing political landscape.
Yes, this is the UK, but not as you know. We have made each constituency exactly the same size. So one hexagon for one MP, and it gives you a much better idea of where the real balance of power lies. Now, this map is laid out in the colours of the 2017 general election. Shortly, we're going to start pulling them all up and then relaying them as the results come in to find out just what has changed.
And back here in our studio, our Inquisitor-in-Chief, Andrew Neil, will be talking to many of the winners and losers, finding out why the election turned out as it did, and where we go from here.
Throughout the night, as the results come in, I'll be speaking to an array of politicians and pundits in the studio and across the country, asking them what went right, what went wrong, and what happens next.
With me all night is the BBC's political editor, Laura Kuenssberg. She's waiting to give her immediate verdict on the exit poll. So here we are. We are just seconds away from the result of the exit poll, our first prediction of the potential outcome of this election. More than 20,000 people were asked how they voted today at 144 polling stations right across the UK on behalf of the BBC, ITV and Sky. So, as Big Ben reaches 10 o'clock, we are standing by with those crucial exit poll figures. Here they are. Our exit poll is suggesting that there will be a Conservative majority when all the votes are counted after this election of December 2019. The Conservatives on 368 seats and Labour way down on 191. Now, on those figures, we are looking at a Conservative majority of 86 if the votes actually tally up with this prediction. And that will be the biggest Conservative majority since Margaret Thatcher's third victory back in 1987. Let's look at that Labour figure of 191 for Jeremy Corbyn. That would be the worst Labour result in modern times, and certainly worse than the figure obtained by Michael Foot back in 1983, a low point for Labour. Let's look at the wider picture. And here we have the figures for all the parties. The Conservatives, we are suggesting on 368, that is a rise of 50 seats in this election, as suggested by the exit poll. Labour on 191, suffering as many as 71 losses. That's the suggestion of the poll. And the SNP on 55, making some 20 gains. The Lib Dems on 13, up just 1 seat. Plaid Cymru on 3, losing a seat. The Greens on 1, no change. The Brexit Party not winning any seats, according to this exit poll. And the others, most of those in Northern Ireland, making up 19. It is an exit poll. We will see how accurate it is, of course, when the results start coming in. And we may even get some results within some 45 minutes or so. But it is a dramatic poll. And it certainly suggests that Boris Johnson is on course for a very solid majority of at least 80 seats, possibly 86.